Salut, ça va? And welcome to an English episode.
Salut, Björn. How you doing, bro?
I'm good. I just wanted to welcome the listeners to an English episode of the SEOpresso Podcast. Today, I'm here with Yannick Laurent. Yannick is SEO expert at Aviv, is also working for the biggest real estate platform in Belgium called Immoweb. And we are talking today about real estate market and real estate in SEO in general. How are you feeling, Yannick?
I feel good. I'm really happy to be in your podcast.
It's very interesting today because if you just look at real estate platforms per se, and we as SEOs always try to find, increase organic visibility, and especially in that competitive market. What are the key levers for real estate platforms to increase visibility from your side?
Yeah, for me, if I have to keep and select some levers, I will select 4 specific levers. The first one will be the open of the filters. That's basic on all classified websites in the world, and particularly on real estate. To do that, you need, of course, a complete semantics today in order to have a precise view of the user research, and in order to open the right filter with the right property in the right locality. For me, that's the first lever, the first basic lever that we need to increase the visibility.
So essentially, like opening up filter, what you essentially mean is like creating new landing pages, new pages that tend to acquire users from Google, right?
Exactly. Or for example, an apartment for sale plus 1 or 2 room in localities. That's those type of landing page that we create in order to increase, then develop the visibility of the website, right? The second one is the internal linking, because the internal linking, Björn, is definitely my favorite lever in SEO in general, but it's particularly powerful on SEO. Because the internal linking helped me to use the link boxes, the breadcrumb created, also some shortcut tags and buttons in collaboration with UX and UI.
Yeah. So I think internal linking, especially for like huge platforms, marketplaces, so platforms that, tend to have millions, thousands or millions of web pages. I think internal linking is the most important thing also for Google to understand the architecture, what is important, right? And really laser focus on the most important pages. So it's definitely super essential.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And it's, as I told you, it's definitely my favorite lever in SEO in general. And in relation with the internal linking, it will be my third lever. It's fixing the technical issue, because as you know, Björn, as SEO, we need to detect all technical issues that are preventing Google to explode the website correctly. Okay, so my obsession is to help Google have a fluent access to the strategic pages and be sure that Google can read correctly the content. And I remind the strong issue that we had, I think that remember it, with the server-side rendering on Immoweb at the beginning of the job with them. We have a strong issue about that. And when we fix this issue, our indexation, our semantics covering completely increase after, and we increase the visibility strongly after this fix. So that's why on websites like real estate and classified website, we definitely need to be sure that we have a week-to-week sanity check of the website, right?
Yeah, I remember. Like, I also think that was one of the most impactful changes I've seen with especially with server-side rendering. And it just remembered me how important it is for SEOs also to look at all those JavaScript pitfalls that, especially with new platforms like React and stuff can be created. And so really diving into it as an SEO and understanding where these pitfalls are and fixing it.
Yeah, because it was huge. I mean that maybe 80% of the website were not accessible for Google. And when Google were able to have an access to the pages, for example, thanks to the sitemap, or for example, thanks to the paid links, Google has a white page. Okay, it was really a huge issue that we took maybe 5 or 6 months to fix. But after the fix, everything were unblocked, and the visibility continued to grow up until now. Until now, the visibility continued to grow up. Yeah.
I mean, for you especially, I said it in the beginning, right? You are managing SEO also across multiple languages, and not even across multiple languages, also like in multiple countries. So you're operating from France for the Belgian market as well. So in a single country, it is already really, really tricky. But how do real estate platforms typically approach this challenge, and how do strategies differ by region or language? Can you share some insights on this one?
Yeah, of course. In my opinion, I think that the custom SEO strategy is the key. What it means? I take, for example, for Immoweb in Belgium. In Belgium, basically, there are two main languages: French for French side and Flemish side. Okay. The fact is, I will consider my French version has one specific website, and my Flemish version has another specific website. What it means? It means that all my entry points should be adapted to the local market in terms of localities, in terms of property types, in terms of content. I will build and custom the SEO strategy in relation with the local market.
Yeah, but what is like? Okay, you said like each and every language needs to be actually treated as their own website, because it's different entry points based on languages, for example, right? But I think you also have to make sure that everything is the same, right? So each and every list. So let's say we have Belgium as a market, right? That's most probably, I would count now, 3 different languages.
French, Flemish version, and English version. Only 3 versions.
In English. But yeah, but like the population is like German, Flemish, French, and English. Most probably the politicians that hang around in in Brussels. But making sure that all of these have actually see the same listing, see the same detailed pages, see the same content at the end of the day, but in their respective language, right? How are you balancing this? How do manage so that Google also understands? Okay, it is 3 different websites, but it belongs all together.
So yeah, in order to have the same stuff for Google, I just use the technical SEO with the hreflang, for example, in order to indicate to Google the several version. Okay. I use also a specific, so we will enter on technical stuff. But I will use also the X default tags in order to give a by default version for user, for example, which are not come from Belgium. So that's why I will manage, if you want, the different version of Immoweb. Basically, that's what I do.
Okay, so we have the different language approach, right? But then you have, again, like those different regions. How do you rank this? Like, do you rank on the same positions in each and every region, or does it differ in how to approach it?
It's completely different. It's completely different. And the first thing that you have to know is that in Belgium, when you have your semantic study, which is complete, you are able to know if, for example, there is research or not on the region. Okay, sometimes there are no research, so you can, for example, just remove the region links. Okay, because there is no demand on it. To reply to your question, of course, between Flemish and French version, of course, there are some different ranking that you can notice on Google search results. Yes.
Exactly. So when I'm French and I'm Googling from apartment in Antwerpen, do I see a different ranking than if I would be Flemish and I would search in Flemish in Belgium?
Yes, you will, because you will have on my hreflang, I will custom the hreflang for. I know that I am trying the technical stuff, but I will custom for the Google BE FR and Google BE NL, meaning that in the result for Flemish, you are French, you will have the link in French with the property type, with the property that you want to buy or to rent. And at the opposite, if you're Flemish, you will have the Flemish version of the property type that you want to buy or what you want, but with a different ranking, for example, for the same property and for the same locality. But you can have, that's the case currently on Immoweb, you can have different ranking for the same request, depending where you do your request in the world, right?
All right. Okay. But also, I can imagine that, like, optimizing content for multilingual markets, and it can be very complex, right? Because there's so many nuances that are different in Flemish than it is in French, for example, right? But still, in order to scale it, you don't want to create two different pieces of content. Most probably sometimes you have to because of law and whatnot, right? But like how do you manage and balance this, like creating content for one platform but multilingual aspects?
So if I take again the example of Immoweb, basically all the content that we have created has the several version. Okay, I create a content. I have for the same content, I have my French version, I have my Flemish version, I have my English version. Okay, basically what I will do is regarding the internal linking. Thanks to the internal linking, I will push for example, if I take the blog of Immoweb for French side, I will push directly all the article with the best demand on French side. I will push those articles, and for the Flemish side, I will push all the article with the best demand for a Flemish side. I always have how can I tell that in English? I always have the thing to tell, okay, I want to give to my user in French version the content that he research in terms of in terms of keyword, in terms of locality, in terms of property, and I will do the same for Flemish side. It's just a question of internal linking. You won't have the same entry point between your French version and your Flemish version, right?
For listeners managing similar platforms, right? Same size, a lot of URLs, super complicated architecture and so. What's the most crucial SEO lesson to take away?
For me, two lessons. The first is always be aware of the demand of the user. That's really, really important. And the second one is maybe the best advice that I can tell is definitely have for those type of websites with million URL, have a regular, precise follow-up of the technical SEO KPI in order to be sure that Google will be able to explore the content and rank the content. That's definitely the two lessons that I learned during my experience in real estate website, right?
So that's a really, really cool advice. Really also taking, the user's perspective on it and not just doing, internal linking for the sake of internal linking, but doing it so that it has an usability character, right? And, actually adds value to the user. Okay, I didn't find what I was looking for, but here's a link. Maybe you will find what you're looking for on this one. So
exactly.
Really taking this approach, right?
Exactly. And the other advice that I can give, that I can tell is that don't hesitate to do some collaborative SEO action with the UX and UI team, because I have the example of several tags that we created before, which definitely work strongly and help the user go more fastly in the result that they want and give the lead more easily. Okay, and it allow you to do your internal linking also with UX, UI design friendly. It's really, really cool to collaborate with UX team in order to push the internal linking for the user. I have a lot of successes when I collaborate with the UX team to do my internal linking in general and create the feature.
Really cool. That's a wrap. Thank you very much, Yannick. Super informative. And we see and hear us again next week on the SEOpresso Podcast. See you then. Ciao.